What happens to your bearded dragon when you turn off the basking light too early? You do everything right. The tank is clean, the food is fresh, the temperatures looked good this morning. And at 7 in the evening, maybe a little earlier because it has been a long day, you reach over and switch off the basking light. Your beardie is still sitting on his log, eyes half open, looking the way he always looks in the late afternoon. Settled, comfortable, fine. But he is not fine. Not in the way you think. In the 30 minutes after you turned off that light, something began inside his body that most reptile owners never learn about until something goes wrong, a process that does not announce itself. That does not produce symptoms you can see tonight, or tomorrow, or maybe even this month. But that compounds quietly, every evening, into a set of consequences that vets who specialize in exotic animals see constantly and trace back, almost always, to the same source. The light went off too early. It kept going off too early, and the animal paid for it in ways the owner never connected to that small daily decision. Welcome to Reptile Realities. Hit subscribe before you keep watching, because what you are about to understand changes the way you manage your dragon's day permanently. And the last section of this video covers something that happens inside your beardie's gut every single night that most owners have never heard of. And that explains problems they have been dealing with for months without knowing the cause. Stay with me through the whole thing. This one matters. Tonight we are going into what actually happens to a bearded dragon when the basking window closes too soon. What shuts down, what backs up, what slowly goes wrong, and what you can do starting tonight to stop it. Number 1. The biological clock your beardie is running on and why your schedule is probably wrong. Bearded dragons come from the arid interior of Australia. Not the coast, not the temperate south, the interior. Where in summer the sun is up for 14 hours and the basking temperature on exposed rock surfaces reaches 120 degrees Fahrenheit or more. Where the light is intense and the day is long and the biology of every animal that evolved there is built around one assumption. The heat comes first, stays long, and fades slowly. Your dragon's body is built on that assumption. It has been for millions of years. The circadian rhythm of a bearded dragon is not approximate. It is not flexible in the way a mammal's rhythm is flexible. Mammals evolved in environments with seasonal variation, with cloudy days, with nights that stretched and shortened. Their biology has some tolerance for disruption. A bearded dragon's does not have the same buffer. When the light and heat disappear, specific biological processes begin their shutdown sequence in a specific order. And if that sequence starts too early, before the dragon has had time to complete the metabolic work the light was supposed to power, the results accumulate. Most owners are running their lights on a human schedule. The tank lights come on when they wake up, maybe 8 or 9 in the morning. They go off when the evening feels like evening, maybe 6, maybe 5:30, maybe earlier on weekends. That is somewhere between 9 and 10 hours of light on a good day. The minimum for an adult bearded dragon is 12 hours. In the spring and summer months, 13 to 14 is closer to what their biology expects. 10 hours of light is not a minor shortfall. It is like running a machine at 2/3 power every day and being surprised when it does not perform at full capacity. Number 2. What digestion actually requires and why the light is not optional. This is the part most owners do not fully understand, because in mammals, digestion happens with or without external heat. Your stomach processes food, whether you are warm or cold, indoors or outside, in January or July. Mammalian digestion is internally powered. Bearded dragon digestion is not. It is externally powered, and the external power source is the basking light. When a beardie eats, the food does not begin moving efficiently through the digestive tract on its own. The animal needs to thermoregulate, to physically move between temperature zones, to raise its core body temperature to the range where the digestive enzymes function properly. That range is roughly 100 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit at the surface, producing an internal body temperature of around 95 to 100 degrees. Below that, the enzymatic process slows. Significantly below that, it stops. If you turn off the basking light at 5:30 and your dragon ate at 4, the food that entered the digestive system an hour and a half ago has not finished moving. The enzymes have not finished working. The body temperature is dropping because the heat source is gone, and the material sitting in the gut is now in a system that is progressively less capable of processing it. In the short term, the dragon will be fine. The body has some thermal inertia. One night is not a crisis. Over weeks and months, improperly digested food sitting in a cooled gut creates a specific and serious problem that vets call gut stasis, or in more advanced cases, impaction. The gut slows or stops. Material accumulates. The dragon shows signs that are easy to misread: reduced appetite, lethargy, occasional regurgitation, changes in stool frequency or consistency. Owners adjust the diet, wonder about parasites, change substrates. They do not think about the light schedule, but the light schedule is often the root. The fix is not complicated. Do not let your dragon eat within 2 to 3 hours of lights out, and do not let lights out come before 12 hours of total light have elapsed. These two rules together give the digestive system the thermal window it needs to complete the work the food requires. Number 3. The temperature drop and what it does to the immune system. There is a concept in reptile medicine called thermal preferendum. It is the body temperature range in which a reptile's immune system functions optimally. For bearded dragons, that range sits between about 95 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit core temperature. Inside that range, white blood cell activity is normal. Immune response to pathogens is normal. The body's ability to fight off the bacteria and parasites that are present in every enclosure, on every feeder insect, in every gram of substrate is normal. Below that range, immune function does not just slow slightly, it drops substantially. Researchers studying reptile immunology have documented that a drop of just 10 degrees Fahrenheit in core body temperature can reduce certain immune responses by 40% or more, not 40% in extreme cases. In ordinary, modest temperature drops of the kind that happen every evening in an enclosure when the basking light goes off, your dragon spends the night at ambient room temperature. If your room is 72 degrees Fahrenheit at night, which is a completely normal household temperature, your beardie's core temperature will settle somewhere around that level, maybe a few degrees above if the enclosure retains some heat. That is 25 to 30 degrees below the thermal preferendum. This is expected. This is normal. Bearded dragons are designed to tolerate a nighttime temperature drop. The problem is not the drop itself. The problem is when the drop starts too early, before the immune system has had the full daytime window it needs to do its maintenance work, before the basking period has given the body enough thermal energy to complete its daily biological tasks. A dragon that gets 12 to 14 hours of proper basking temperature has spent the majority of the day with an immune system running at full capacity. A dragon that gets 9 hours has spent roughly a quarter less time in that optimal window every single day, indefinitely. This is why dragons on incorrect light schedules tend to be dragons that get sick more often, that recover from illness more slowly, that seem constitutionally fragile in ways their owners attribute to genetics or bad luck. It is usually neither. It is a light schedule that has been quietly pulling the immune system below its working range, one early evening at a time. Number 4. What happens to the brain and behavior when the photoperiod is wrong? Bearded dragons are not simple animals behaviorally. They have a surprisingly sophisticated endocrine system, a set of hormonal processes regulated almost entirely by light. The pineal gland, which in mammals helps regulate the sleep-wake cycle, is extraordinarily sensitive in reptiles. In bearded dragons specifically, it responds to both the intensity and the duration of light exposure. When the photoperiod is correct, the hormonal cascade that governs appetite, activity, reproduction, and seasonal behavior runs on schedule. The dragon is alert in the morning, active through the midday, settles naturally in the late afternoon, and goes into a genuine nighttime rest that supports memory consolidation, physical recovery, and hormonal resetting. When the photoperiod is too short, the system gets a signal that is consistent with late autumn. In the wild, late autumn means one thing: brumation is coming. Brumation is the reptile equivalent of hibernation, a period of significantly reduced activity and metabolism that wild dragons enter as the days shorten and cool. It is triggered by exactly what you are accidentally creating: shorter days, earlier darkness, reduced total light exposure. A dragon, on a 9-hour light schedule in the middle of summer, is receiving brumation cues. The pineal gland reads the shortened photoperiod. The hormonal system responds, and the dragon's appetite begins to drop. Its activity level decreases, it sleeps more, it loses interest in food. Owners bring these animals to vets worried about illness. They run blood work, they test for parasites. Everything comes back normal because nothing is wrong medically. The dragon is doing exactly what its biology is telling it to do based on the light information it is receiving. It thinks winter is coming. It is preparing accordingly. Extending the light schedule is often the only intervention needed, and it works within days. Appetite returns, activity returns. The dragon that seemed sick for weeks becomes the dragon that charges toward the food dish again, because the light is finally telling it what season it actually is. Number 5. What is happening in your dragon's gut tonight that you have never thought about? This is the section I mentioned at the beginning, and it connects everything that came before it. Bearded dragons have a complex gut microbiome. Like all animals with digestive tracts, they carry populations of bacteria that are essential to health, that assist with digestion, that crowd out pathogens, that produce compounds the body depends on. This microbiome is not static. It shifts with temperature, with diet, with the thermal cycle of the day. Researchers studying reptile gut health have found something that changes the way you should think about your enclosure's day-night cycle. The bacterial populations in a bearded dragon's gut are temperature sensitive in ways that track almost exactly with the basking cycle. The beneficial bacteria thrive in the higher temperature environment of an active, basking dragon. The pathogenic bacteria, the ones that cause illness when their populations get too large, are more competitive at lower temperatures. Every night, when your dragon cools down, the balance in the gut shifts slightly toward the less beneficial side. Every morning, when the basking light comes on and the dragon warms up, it shifts back. This is normal. This is expected. The system is built to handle a daily cycle of shift and recovery. What disrupts the system is when the nighttime shift is longer than the daytime recovery. When the cool period, the period where pathogenic bacteria have the competitive advantage, extends past the point where the warm period can fully restore the balance. A 9-hour basking window followed by a 15-hour cool period is not a 60-40 split in favor of health. Over time, it is a slow erosion of the microbiome balance that expresses itself as chronic soft stools, occasional mucus in the droppings, low-grade digestive discomfort, and susceptibility to the kind of bacterial overgrowth that a dragon with a correct light schedule would fight off without symptoms. You will not see this on any single night. You will see it over months, in the pattern of the droppings, in the subtle decline in coat condition, in the animal that just never quite looks as vibrant as it did when you first brought it home. And the intervention is, again, more light, more hours of the basking temperature that tips the microbiome back toward the population balance the dragon's body depends on. The light is not just heat. The light is not just visible comfort for the animal. The light is the regulator of almost every biological system your beardie has. The digestive system, the immune system, the hormonal system, the microbial system. They are all, in one way or another, downstream of the light. You turned it off at 5:30 because the day was done and the tank was in the living room and it felt like it was time. The dragon on the log with his eyes half closed did not look like an animal in the middle of a biological process that needed 2 more hours to complete. He looked settled. He looked fine. But inside the cooling gut, the enzymes were slowing. The immune cells were beginning to pull back from their working temperature. The pineal gland was receiving a signal that the season was changing. And in the dark, the microscopic balance of the gut microbiome was beginning its nightly tilt, lasting a little longer than it should, recovering a little less fully than it needed to. Now you know what that quiet, still animal on his log is actually running. Now when you look at the basking light, you know it is not just a lamp. It is the central regulator of an entire biological system that was built for a continent of long, fierce, sun-heavy days, running in a glass box in your living room on whatever schedule you happen to keep. 12 hours minimum, 13 to 14 in the warmer months. No food in the final 2 to 3 hours before lights out. And a basking surface that actually reaches the temperatures the thermoregulation requires, because a dim bulb running 12 hours delivers less than a proper bulb running 10. Get the light right, and most of the other things tend to follow. That is not a simplification. That is the biology. Tell me in the comments, what light schedule have you been running? And has your dragon shown any of the signs we talked about today? I read every comment. I want to know what is happening in your setups. I will see you in the next one.